Uncharitable says that we need to liberate the sector and give it the same freedoms that we give to business. And also we need to stop asking short-sighted questions about how much does the charity spend on overhead, and start asking bigger questions about what progress is the charity making towards solving the community problem that is the very reason I donate to them in the first place. The ideas for the book came from 10 years of working with the general public and with donors on the AIDS rides and the breast cancer 3 days, and seeing certain irrationalities that were ingrained in people, like the notion that you shouldn't spend any money on advertising this event, even though when you spend money on advertising the event you raise millions and millions more than you would if you didn't. Or focusing on the fact that, oh, the event costs 40 cents and a bake sale costs only 5 cents on the dollar. Yeah, but this event raised $10 million and the bake sale only raised $10. How do we increase giving? We increase giving by marketing and advertising and building a new culture of civic philanthropy. At the same time, we start working to get nonprofit organizations to work together on problems instead of in isolation on problems. You put those things together, ambitious, daring goals, a new culture of civic philanthropy, nonprofit organizations working together toward those goals that have been set. All right, now we have a chance at actually changing things. But in the absence of any kind of a conversation like that, we don't. Well, it's critical to understand all the reasons you can't do something if you ever are actually going to achieve it. And we don't understand why we can't do the end of hunger, the end of AIDS, because we haven't set goals for those things. You know, once we do, we can understand why they can't happen. And once we understand why they can't happen, we can come up with the solution so that they can. You know, they didn't know how to build a lunar module in 1963. And if all you said is we want to build a lunar module, it wouldn't have happened. It happened because there was a goal of going to the moon, and you needed a lunar module to make that happen.
He hit the symbol right in the middle. It's all about measurement, it's all about impact, it's all about efficiency.
He left me inspired. I'm going to go back with a different vantage point than I came in this morning and go get him. The reality of it is without investing in administrative and development costs, we're not going to be able to grow the way we need to.
So I have to say, I looked at his presentation and I thought, wow, I can take things away from this and I can really do some pretty incredible stuff with it. It's about having ambitions and being able to think, what do we need to do to accomplish the long-term things that we want to accomplish, to not lose heart at a time when everything around us is a challenge, everything around us is saying give up.
I liked what Dan said about, and this is paraphrasing, but about incremental movement toward a different reality. Early on in his speech, he talked about needing to step out of the box. Well, first you have to understand the constraints of the box. So probably we move by educating. It's like any other movement. You start small, you start telling the truth internally, and then to a little bit bigger bubble of people and a little bit bigger bubble of people.
I do think people care about their neighbors and people in their community and their community itself. But somehow I think the nonprofit sector's got to come together and really learn how to market that better. That was one of the messages he had for us. It's not just individual agencies, it's causes, it's what we want our community to look like, and I don't think we've done a good job of that.
So my big takeaway is I'm going back and looking at the whole business model of what we're doing and the whole scope of what we're doing, and going to re-ask the question with my board of directors, are we operating at the scale that the state of Arizona, that Maricopa County really deserves? And I think that's really a fun question to be asking in tough times.
This is a journey, you know, and so we may just be 1 or 2 miles down the road of a 100-mile journey, but you know what? We're 1 or 2 miles down the road. I think we're starting it, and he has certainly given us today a good roadmap.